Hi there everyone, it's Jaycee with another perfect pairing tutorial. I'm sharing 10 heartwarming crafting items to inspire you all for Valentine's Day. These 5 cards also fit for other occasions that are perfect to share with those you love. Like I mentioned, I have 5 cards to share, all of which have a simple style to suit any recipient. I don't have any of Altenew's signature flowers on these cards at all. For my first card example, I need the Crafter's Essential scoring board to make a different card base. I'm scoring a 5.5 by 8.5 100-pound white cardstock at the 2 1/8 mark. I'll rotate the cardstock 180 degrees and mark the cardstock at 2 1/8 again. When I reinforce the folds of this card, I end up with a center gatefold card. The next item I will need is the A Little Bit of Love stamp and die bundle. All I have done is stamped a set of mirrored hands and used the coordinating die to cut both hand images from white cardstock. With some instant dimension foam tape, I mounted both hand images to meet at the center of the gatefold. I used a coordinating sentiment with the stamp set to add to my card front. Then finally, I embellished my card with Cool Summer Nights enamel hearts. You'll see that both halves of the heart-shaped hands meet in the center of the card for a fun interactive element with purpose. Up next is Tie-Dye Motifs stamp set. Side note, you'll notice that most of the stamp sets I've chosen have a green banner on the top left. This indicates that the stamp set is part of the original collection. Altenew's floral stamps have a burgundy banner for comparison. I'll stamp directly onto a folded note card base to make this next card. I'm taking the largest tie-dye circle and stamping it in Hearts Beat from Tea Party Crisp Die Ink set. Fresh Lemon from Pocketful of Sunshine for the medium-sized circle. And finally, Persian Blue from Glacier Caves for the smallest circle. I added splatters from the ink pads to help fill in the background a little bit more. Then from an artist's collection stamp and die set, I stamped and die cut this brush with cup image onto white cardstock. This will act as my focal point. Then I'll finish this card with a sentiment from the same stamp set. To make this next card, I already stamped and die cut the lamp and chair image from the Armchair stamp and die set. I won't do anything else to these 2 images right now except use them as placeholders for my simple scene. The next crafting item I'll use is the Vintage Vibes stamp set. I'm focusing on the layering images for this 1980s TV. To color the TV layers, I'll start with the solid wood layer and stamp it in Mocha from the Coffee Break Crisp Die Ink set. Then I'll stamp the screen frame in Sand Dunes. In Permanent Black Crisp ink, I'll stamp the antenna, leg, and dial handle layer. I'll stamp the heart image in Pink Pearl. I'll stamp the TV dial frame in Espresso. Then finally the dials themselves in Limestone Crisp Die Ink. I'll stamp this I love you sentiment in the center of the heart with Permanent Black Crisp ink. Now all I have to do is arrange the armchair and lamp around the TV for this unconventional and simple Valentine's Day card. Up next is Chemistry Vases stamp set. I've stamped the A2 and B2 layers in Permanent Black Crisp ink directly onto a folded note card base for this 1-layer card. I also stamped the test tube clamp image to wrap around the shorter test tube. Then I scoured my stash for tiny heart images. I found them in the Way Too Sweet stamp set. With an acrylic block, I'll fill the test tubes with different sizes of hearts stamped in Heartbeat and Coral Bliss. I'll let some of the hearts overflow and flow out of the shorter test tube. Then I'll finish this simple card with the We've Got Chemistry sentiment stamp. Finally, for my last card example, I'll start with a white cardstock panel this time. Onto this panel, I'll use the Delectable Delights Crisp Die Ink set to stamp images from the Sweet Love stamp set. I will use the coordinating die set this time. What I'll need are 11 chocolate hearts. I'm mixing and matching colors for the A0, A1, and A2 layers to create an assortment of little chocolate truffles. Then I used the coordinating die to cut out all 11 chocolate hearts. Essentially, I made a chocolate heart made out of chocolate hearts. I'll set these aside and stamp a few images from the Tied with Love stamp set. I will also need the die set for this card. I added stamped twine to my folded note card base. And I also stamped and die cut the bow image. Now I can arrange my card. I started by foam mounting the assortment of chocolate hearts on top of the twine background. Then I added the stamped twine bow. Finally, I foam mounted this complete sentiment from the Sweet Love stamp set. So that finishes 5 card examples with a central Valentine's Day theme. The stamp choices today deliberately do not contain floral images so that you can see the diverse selection of items from the Altenew shop. As always, all of these crafting essentials are linked in the description box. My series encourages you to shop your existing Altenew stash and rekindle their love with newer releases. Perfect Pairings with Jaycee airs on the Altenew channel every second and fourth Sunday of the month. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in to this perfect pairing episode with me, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.